What is the best way to approach someone is the question I've had. Now this comes from two separate angles, one being face-to-face and the second one being online or on some kind of online dating platform. Now there's a couple of ways to approach this, but first things first, I'm going to say what not to do. You see, what happens is people have a tendency to, when they're doing this kind of stuff, their creativity goes right down the toilet and they approach with something like, hey, how have you been, what you been up to, how's your day going? And if that's all you can come up with, I'm going to say to you now, you can do much better, because the problem with that is while it's perfectly civil, there's going to be 10, 15, 20, 100 other people who are going to send the same message, and so they're all going to get filed away in the same place, okay? You're going to be labeled with the masses. You won't be the one to stand out. So if you want to just take it up one notch, just one simple notch, do you know what? Try something a bit different, a bit more humane, and reply to them and just say, hey, I saw your profile. You have a lovely, lovely profile, and I wanted to reach out and say hello. See, that in itself has a more humane, natural dimension to it. And if you do that, you're more likely to stand out. And then if you want to take it to the next level and add in some humor, what I tend to do is do a deep dive into their profile and find out, right, what do they like? What kind of clothes have they got on? Where have they been lately? Do they have any pets? Do they have any dogs? And then you can build some humor when you find out and understand what they're more about. So say, for example, you happen to see a picture of them that they've gone skydiving, then comment on the skydiving and perhaps mention that, you would literally poop your pants if you were to do skydiving. How did they do it? And it just adds a little bit more excitement to the conversation, and it builds, the key there, it builds a conversation. And so try that element and see what happens, because then if you do that, you will be the 0.1% of people who've actually made an effort to say something different. Now, the rules change ever so slightly if you're doing it in person, and only in a slight way, in that if you're the kind of person who's perhaps a little bit nervous by doing it, then just start off with the very simple thing and just say hello. And the most important rule of all is add in a smile. And you know what? That just does wonders. If you can do it naturally with a smile, people have this habit, when they see someone else smile, they'll smile back. You automatically build that rapport. The last thing I'll say is that this was sparked by a lovely gentleman on my singles group, and he mentioned as well that he wasn't sure what approach to take, and he asked that question, and he came up with a great one himself as well. And he said to a lovely lady on the group and said, look, the only opener I can ever come up with is a tin opener. And I thought, what a great line. Very great line. I mean, context, obviously they were talking about introductions and how to say hello, so it worked really well in that case. It may not work in every circumstance, but if you just think outside the box, you can easily come up with something like that, maybe even better. Who knows? I'm sure you've got a better sense of humor than I have. But there we go. If you're worried and not sure how to approach someone, especially when it comes to online dating, try these few tips and see what happens.